What does having a penis feel like? It's both practical and in the way. On the one hand, you can pee while you're standing, and you don't bleed on a regular basis. If you do despite being male, please see a doctor. On the other hand, manspreading will be necessary. Getting a hit below the belt is agonizing, and random erections, which are 100% involuntary and most of the time without any justification, can be embarrassing. If you mean how does it feel on a purely sensoric level, it's hard to describe. Maybe comparable to boobs in some way. Like, our little friend sometimes requires rearranging his position by tugging/scratching and or an awkward sidestep. That's the best comparison I can come up with. I'm afraid. Hey, a place to share something I recently learned. Without those random erections, the penis and its structures can get less stretchy, and future erections become painful. This can happen in relatively little time. 2 potentially even a few days without an erection can reduce the stretchiness to levels that induce itchiness and discomfort on next attempt. Random erections really only happen with normal male levels of testosterone. And one effect of them is that they keep the penis flexible and ready to rumble. Really? Wow. That's something I genuinely had no idea about. Yay. For morning wood. Then, imagine having flat boobs that inflate to D size when you're aroused. And also at random times, because you sat down weird. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. I'll tell you in a simple way, you get random boners when you're at the funeral, or just before your presentation, and you won't know why. On a side note, scratching the balls gives so much pleasure. Lol. Swell. Nice. Hard sometimes. Edit. That was a weird boner. Usually at the worst times. Too. It's fun until school presentations happen and there is no hiding that thing. Strap that puppy down. The best way I can describe it is that it's like your tongue. Most of the time you don't know it's there. Just chilling. But then when you remember it's there, it's all you can focus on. What happens to penises in the bath? Question mark. Do they float or sink? Question mark. I commented below, but the tip of mine can float up if I'm just laying back. It's like the devil on your shoulder telling you to make the wrong decisions, except he is in your pants. You can be having an absolutely terrible day and then think, oh wait, I have a penis, and then everything feels 10 times better. I knew it. So jealous. I mean, it makes going to new beaches a little awkward on account of not being able to control our boners. In this regard, girls have an advantage when being nude. I've never had an issue. If I'm getting hard, I'll just roll over. If I'm walking about, I'm unlikely to just get hard randomly. I envy your penis discipline. Good sir. Imagine if someone replaced one of your hands with a knife. It will get you special treatment. It's massively inconvenient. If you use it wrong, you duck yourself over. Anyone without a knife hand will feel threatened by you. Because you have a knife, you are wielding a knife at all times. Do you know what people use those for? But also, you do get some utility and freedom out of it. I mean, you have a knife at all times. You are constantly reminded that you're powerful, that you have what it takes. I mean, you have a knife, right? And society has formed the way it has to make way for knife-handed people, and in fact, society was more or less made by and for knife-handed people, and duck the people without knives. Am I right? Question mark. And you go out in the world and all you hear is, did you hear? Question mark. So and so stabbed a lot of women without their consent, and you're like, good damn it, these ducks are gonna make life difficult for everyone. And you see things like all knife-handed folks should just die, and you're like, ick. Now what, I kinda get where you're coming from. This world is practically made of stabbings. But also, I've never done anything to anyone, and that hurts me deep in my soul. Man, I have feelings too. I didn't choose to have a knife hand. And you go through life painfully aware that everyone knows you have a knife, and most people are convinced that you won't hesitate to use it against them. So they stay away from you, and you stay away from them, because you don't want to force yourself into their personal space. I mean, you do have a knife after all. That would be way too threatening. You just want to be friends. So you stay back and out of the way. Until you can quietly convince people that you aren't going to knife people. You aren't a threat. You can be part of society too. But you're always nervous. You're always aware. Because there, right there, at the end of your arm, is a knife. That was beautiful. You always know it's there, waiting. Fun. It's good and all. Happy little sausage, until you stand up too fast from a car. That's when you absolutely need a jacket for the first minute. The penis can make a man do things he normally would never do, but we're still best friends. Uncomfortable and always in the way. Pretty damn good. Lots of surface area for pleasure. It's just hanging around down there. It's kind of annoying. Random boners make life spicy in a bad way. Getting hit in the balls doesn't just hurt your balls. It's like a shock throughout your entire body that makes you curl in pain. When it gets itchy, it's borderline impossible to satisfy. But hey, sex is pretty cool, I guess. It feels like normal. Having never not had a penis, I can't explain it. Ultimate power. I don't know, ask my sister. Why? Does your sister keep yours? Take your clit, stretch it out a lot, put a blood sac on it that expands randomly, and you have a penis. We can piss while standing. I don't know, never had a penis in me, but my own sometimes I think he haves his own agenda. He don't like being tight jeans. When hard he don't let me think normally. I think I have a alien body, but in general we are the best of friends. Like a poop that is stuck to the front of you. Username checks out. TBH, having a penis feels like nothing. As normal as you'd be feeling right now. What does having boobs feel like? Just get very fat, you can find out. In my dreams. Can't put on weight for shit. It's a duck in pain in the ass. Link. B/W9W0 proof for you. T equals 6. It's hard sometimes. Sometimes you don't feel it at all. Other times you really feel it. It gets hard sometimes. Feels good. When I was 13 and just learning about sex and masturbation, there were times when I legitimately fell into an existential crisis because of the thing in between my legs that would make me feel good if I played with it. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable, especially while trying to sleep lying down. It gets hard sometimes. Like having a penis. IDKTBH, I kinda still have a hard time believing those exist and aren't a myth. Took that a pretty long time to sink in. It's hard sometimes. When to check if Op is not a guy himself. Was not disappointed. Someone probably already said this. It's hard sometimes. Frustrating. Good and bad. The best. I rarely get random boners now though, which is kinda worrying. It gets hard sometimes. Kind of uncomfortable. It feels like having a dick. Having a small person that always tries to screw you up during presentations by slowly growing and embarrassing you in front of everyone. And also gets stuck on the thighs. I just use it to pee. It's hard getting it up and keeping it up. A gift and a curse. Like a really fun finger. It's a big stick that's sometimes hard and feels good if you rub it. Like having a baby arm attached to your crotch. It's hard sometimes. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.